Okay, welcome everyone to today's class. I want to welcome you again and to today's class, Microsoft Tools for Business. Microsoft Tools for Business. Last week we talked about define business, what business is. We talked about business and I will define business as an organization or enterprising. We define it as an organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. So that is what how we define Microsoft tools or how we define business. Then we also looked at Microsoft Office. We also looked at it and we were told about it and it has so many tools. Then it offers so many great great features which will help us build a professional document or build a professional document. Now we also looked at we also said that Microsoft Word is one of the very basic to use when connecting with people through computers. Is one of the basic to use. So at this stage, I believe every one of us knows about how to use the Microsoft Word and how to type on the Microsoft Word. Now, how they edit on the Microsoft Word. Now, these are the basic things we ought to know when it comes to Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office. You call so many people call you. So as a way of introduction, we are just making a recap of what we did last time. So we were introduced to Microsoft Word 2007. Now we were introduced to it, and I said when you click on the button, the window button, this is the window button. When you click on the window button, all you see is you see this page opens for you. You see this page open for you. Now, how do you open this from your computer? Now, for some of us, you just go to click your stats, go to programs, see Microsoft Word, click it, and this will open. Now, when Microsoft Word opens, it will open a place where you can click, where there are several templates. There are several templates, and you are expected to pick any template you want to use. But for this reason, we using blank the blank tool, the blank. We click on the blank page, the blank page. Now, when you open the blank page, this is exactly how the Microsoft Office blank page look like. So on top it here is the on top it here you can see from the screen is the quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar. We also have now the quick access toolbar. You can get them here. These are these icons you can see here. There you have the save button like the diskette. You have the undo or redo, whichever. So after that we have the office button. You can see the window office button on this page. This is the window office button, and we also have the ribbon. These are the ribbon, and as we also have the ribbon, and we also have when you go down of it, we also have the status bar. The status bar, when you come down of it, this is the status bar, and you can see that. So we went ahead to talk about the ribbon. We talked about the ribbon, and we said the ribbon is divided into 7 tabs. We talked about that, and we tried to establish the fact or look into the 7 tabs, and we could just see from our screen. We talk about the home, the home tab, the insert, the page layout. We talked about the references, the mailing, and the review, the view, the developer. So these are what we look at the ribbon, and we try to establish each fact and talk about them. So, and we said, if you remember this, we said the tools that makes life easier in Office 2007 are the Office button and quick access toolbar. The Office button and quick access toolbar. We went ahead to say, okay, to establish and to show where we can get the Office button, and from the diagram you can see it as here, and when you click on it, this is where when you click on Microsoft Office or Microsoft or this page, opens for you. So on this page, when you here, you see the office button. You see the office button. Now, when you click on the office button, you see new, you see open, convert, save as, print, um, you see prepare, send, publish, etc., etc. Now, these are what you see. So now we talked about the office button. We tried to explain the some of the things you saw there, and if you know in the last class, I'll prefer you just get the note and go through it. So we also looked at the quick access toolbar. We also look at the quick access toolbar. When you click on the quick access toolbar, the commands that you can see, and we try to look at them one after the other. We try to look at them one after the other. We looked at them one after the other, the quick access toolbar. So as a way of recap, now we also have, I also talked about the mini toolbar. Now the mini toolbar is when you type something and you select it, or like when people say highlight it. Now on top of it, you just see a mini toolbar. Just as you see on the screen of this is a mini toolbar where you can see most of the things you can see, like you want to change the font size, you want to do some um bold it or italics or whatever, you see them. That is what you see on the mini toolbar. That is what you see on the mini toolbar. We also talk about the themes you can find there, then live preview, then talked about the status bar. We talked about the status bar. We looked at the status bar and all it could offer. And then we also look at it, publish a document to how you can publish a document to PDF. Now we also look at how you could publish a document to PDF rather than having a document looking for a PDF to convert, looking for a software to convert it to PDF. You can as well just after typing your document, you publish it direct to PDF, or rather, you save it as a PDF file. You save it as a PDF file. So I showed the steps. We looked at the steps, the various steps on how to. We looked at the steps on how to save um, Microsoft Word or how to publish to a PDF file. And I explained this is a table. When you click your save as, then impute the go to the directory you want to save into. You impute the name you want, the file name, then the place you save as type, you just click this arrow. When you click this arrow, then you look for PDF files and click on it and say okay, and the whole thing will save as PDF file for you. We also looked at how to turn off the ribbon, talked about how to turn off the ribbon, then the office logo. These were some of the things we looked at in the last class. We talked about the home tab also, and so many, how to save, how to edit, format on them. We looked at all of this, how to page, insert tab. We talked about insert tab, editing, formatting, etc., etc. We looked at them. So please go read more on them. Go read more on them. We actually looked at all this, the alignment. We talked about the alignment, the bullet numbering, how to use the bullet numbering, the clipboard. We looked at that also. We looked at so many things. We looked at so many things. So here we also looked at how to open a document, already saved document, how to paste, how to print, how to save. We look at save and save as, the difference between save and save as. So we looked at them, the undo button. We also looked at the undo button. But today we want to talk on Microsoft Excel 2007. 2007. Microsoft Excel 2007. That is what we'll be looking at today. After we've gone through the recap, so let's start with today. Please take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a bottle of water, and let's continue our class the next few minutes we have in this course. Now, Microsoft Excel is an example of a program called spreadsheets. Microsoft Excel is an example of a program called spreadsheets. It's an example of a program known as or called spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are used to organize real-world data such as check, register, or read loss. Data can be numerical, um, alphanumerical, involving letters or numbers. When we say alphanumericals, I mean it involves letters or numbers. Data could be all of this. Now, when we look at spreadsheet, is where you organize real world data, and be able to use them. Now, the key benefit of using a spreadsheet program is that you can make changes easily, including correcting spellings or values, adding label, deleting, formatting, and relocating data. Now, the good thing um, of using spreadsheet program is that you can edit without having to start typing all over again. You can format, you can do whatever you want to do on it. That's the good thing of the spreadsheet. So that's the benefit of the spreadsheet. Unlike in those days when there were no computers, that you have to use your hand to write these things, in putting them together in a spreadsheet or in a ledger, or then trying to make calculations, making job pile up for you or lump sum for you. Now, you can also program the spreadsheet to perform certain functions. You can also program the spreadsheet to perform certain functions automatically. You can program it to perform certain functions for you automatically. Microsoft Excel is a very powerful calculator. Now, what do I mean by this? You can also use it to do your calculations. You don't need to press your calculator to know um, the total of the figures you are doing, or the total of all the figures, or the numbers on an spreadsheet, and to know the total. Now you don't need that. Microsoft Excel is with Microsoft Excel, that is an easy thing for you to do. Just imagine if you are asked the data of, let's say, 2,000 persons on a spreadsheet, and they just give it to you manual. You know the stress it will take you to keep pressing calculator. Sometimes you might even make mistake. But with Microsoft Excel, all you just need to do is input the data into the Excel sheet, and you just, if it's to sum, you just calculate it cheaply without pressing a calculator. All you just need is to input the formula there of the cells, which we'll be looking at basic of them, and bam, you get your answers cheap, fast, and quick and reliable. So you don't need to make error when it comes to this. So you can actually do that. Microsoft Excel is available both for your, if you are using PC, if you are using Macs or whatever. Microsoft Excel is available for you. It's available for you. Even in Microsoft Word also is available for you to do that. There are other spreadsheet programs. Now, there are other spreadsheet programs in the market. These include the Google spreadsheets, then the Apple, the Wallet, the Lotus 123, WordPerfect, etc. So now let's look at Microsoft Office Excel. Now, the every commercial, now let's look at it. Every commercial establishment uses Microsoft Office Excel in some way or the other, in one way or the other. Every commercial establishment uses Microsoft Excel in one way or the other. It is a layman's best friend to compute data and use formulas for basic calculations. It is a layman's best friend to compute data and use formulas for basic calculations. Even without specific accounting software, you can input data and create sheets for basic accounting purpose with the help of Excel. So with the help of Excel, you can do that. The Excel has some really effective option to edit data the way you want. It has effective options to edit data the way you want it, no matter how simple or complex your data is or your data might be. You can create a comprehensive report using various formulas provided in Excel to do them. No matter how complex the Excel the data are, with Excel you can get rid of them cheaply and easily without making error. with Excel, you can not only enter data and calculate them, you can edit, filter, or format them the way you want. The tools has infinite spreadsheets. The Excel has infinite spreadsheet to accommodate database expensive database so that you can work effectively without having any error, so that you can arrange all your data in specific individual files. So the Excel offers that benefit. The Excel offers that benefit also. And let's look at the features. What are the features of Excel, Microsoft Excel? One of them, let's look at the title bar. The title bar. Now, when you, like I said here, the picture here you're seeing on this screen shows a close-up view of the title bar. The close-up view of the title bar. So the title bar tells you, if simply, it tells you the name of what you are working on. Like here is book one. Here is book one. The default, that's the default title for the document here. But if I name my title, if I name my document, then the name I name my document will be the one that will display in that place. Now it also has a ribbon system. Now the ribbon system, the title bar, the ribbon system, they are all the same thing we looked at in our Excel, in our Microsoft Word last week. They are the same thing. They all function the same way we looked at, only that there are some features that are here that are not there, or that will work here and might not work there. So we also looked at the ribbon there. So now when you look at this, is a typical blank page of the Excel sheet, just like the same way I showed it to you during when I was doing the recap of the Microsoft Office. This is a blank page of the Microsoft Excel. What are the things we see here? Now you see Microsoft Office button, just the same way it was there. You see there, you see the quick access button. You also see the quick access button. You also see the quick access button. You see the quick access button also. Now these buttons helps you, this quick access button. So these are all that you find in the Excel sheet. So moving further, we also have sorry about that. So we see, sorry for my screen misbehaving, hops. So now again, you see the ribbon menu. This line, the dotted lines you're seeing is the ribbon menu. Tell you that everything here inside these dotted red lines are part of the ribbon. They are all part of the ribbon. They are part of the ribbon. You see the quick access to. Then when you move down, you see three worksheet appear. Now each time you open, you see three worksheet appear on there. By default, they appear. Now the group of the worksheet comprises the workbook and or spreadsheet. So when you go further, you see the horizontal scroll bar, the view page views, and the zoom out. So these are there, and the zoom out So now these are the ribbons. Everything inside the ribbon, you can get them there. Then like the ribbon menu is where you navigate through Excel and access various commands. You navigate through the Excel and access various commands. And at the bottom left area of the spreadsheet, you find the worksheets, which I showed you there by default, three worksheets, which I showed you earlier on, which I showed you here. Now the ribbon, the above the ribbon button, the upper left corner of Microsoft Office, above the ribbon button, you find, that is where you find the Office button. You could see it here above the ribbon button. You find the Office button. When you left click the office, or when you left click the button, a menu appears. From this menu, you can create a new spreadsheet. Open existing files. You can save files in variety of ways and print. You can also add security features and publish. You can also add security features. These are some of the things we see when we go there. So when you open it, like as I just explained, these are some of the things you see. Sorry, madam. These are the things you see when you open it. So these are some of the things you see when you open it. So now let's look at the. I tried to zoom it. It's not zooming for you to see, but this kind of window is what opens for you. Let's look at the quick access toolbar. Now on top left hand side of the title bar, you will see several little icons where you have the save, the undo. This what you see on the screen now. You see it above the file menu. This lets you perform common tasks such as saving and undoing without having to find them in a menu, without looking for let me click file to look for saving. Let me click no from the quick access toolbar. You just click this diskette shape or diskette shape like picture, and bam, you've saved your document. You saved your document. With that, you saved your document. Then we also have the home tab. The home tab. The most common use commands in Excel are also the most accessible. Some of these commands are available in home tab. So some of these commands available in home tabs are, you have the new. When you get to the home tabs, the whole of this you are seeing now is the home tab. We have the new, we have the open, we have the save, we have the print, preview, we have the auto sum, the sort, and we also have the font, the styles, the font size, the font colors, and the text alignment. So we have this one. We have these are what we have when you go to check the home tab, and this will be explained. Now the home tab toolbar offers options that can change the font size, color, alignment, organization and style of the text in the spreadsheet and individual cells. For example, when you open it, the Calibri indicates the font of your text, and the 11 indicates the size of your text. Now let's see from previous examples that I showed you earlier. You could see that when we opened it, so the Calibri, the font, they indicate the size and the font size and the font of the text. Each of these options expands into a menu if you left click on the the tiny down arrows in the bottom right corner of the windows. Each of them showed you. If you left click on the bottom line of these arrows, so it shows you different commands. See, this is the Calibri, this is the font you are using for any document type there. This is the font size, the size that it will carry. So you see that they have little arrows. If you click the down arrows, it will show you other commands that you need to work with, to show you other commands that you need to work with. The tab works the exact same way the MS Word formatting toolbar. The main difference is that the format changes will only affect the selected cells or the selected cell or cells. All unselected cells remain in the default settings. So the format changes. The difference between the home tab, the difference between the home tab in MS Word and the MX Excel is that the format changes with all will the format changes will affect all the selected cells or cells on your Excel to just affect all of them. So that's the major changes. Now the formula bar, also known as the equation editor, is generally found below the ribbon menu. So this is the equation of editor or the formula bar. This is the equation editor or the formula bar. So you can see it here. It's found below the ribbon menu. On the left side denotes which cell is selected. So the left side talks about which cell is selected. On the screen here, you can see that A1 is the one is showing because A1 cell is the one selected. There are two ways to impute information into a cell. You may either select an individual cell and type the equation or test into the formula bar, or type the equation or test directly into the selected cell. Now the equations, for example, equals sum bracket open and close dx minus ex, or d5 sorry minus e5 will automatically be hidden. You will not see it inside. It will be hidden inside the cell and can only be viewed using the formula bar. You can only view it when you use the formula bar. The result of the equation will display in the cell. The result of the equation will display in the cell. If any written text is longer than the cell will then the spreadsheet will cover up any portion longer than the cell width, will cover any portion longer than the cell width. So this is what it does. This is what it does. And let's look at the keyboard view. Now we are familiar with our keyboards, but there are some keys that you have to play with to make you very effective when it comes to typing. You can use the keyboard or the mouse to input data or input commands. You can use the keyboard or the mouse to input commands on an Excel sheet. To use Excel effectively, you must input commands using both the mouse and the keyboard. Now the keyboard here shows some of similar, looks similar to the keyboard you have and to the keyboard in front of you. Learning just a few setting keys will help you, or will help you improve your typing skills, will help you improve your proficiency or efficiency in typing. So just learning one or two keys will help you do that. Now let's look at the keyboard properly before we proceed. List of commonly used keys on the keyboard. One, we have the backspace. This key deletes letters from the back, deletes letters from the back, or deletes letters backward. Deletes letters backward. We have the delete key. This key deletes letters forward. So you can see the arrow. I indicated it with the arrow. Then we also have the shift key. The shift key, when pressed with other keys or any other key, will perform a secondary function. When pressed with any other key, will perform a secondary function. We have the spacebar key. Now the spacebar key enters a space between two words or letters. It enters a space, or it enters a space between two words or letters. Then we have the tab. The tab key will indent what you type or move the text to the right. To the right, the default indent distance is usually ½ inch. The default indent distance, or the default distance it moves it is an ½ inch. Then we have the cap lock. Pressing this key will make every letter you type capitalized, or will capitalize every letter you type. We have the control key. When the control key is pressed with any other or another key, it performs a shortcut. And we have the enter key. This key either gives you a new line or executes a command. The enter key either gives you a new line or executes a command. So we also have the number key tab, the number key or key tab. These are exactly the same as the numbers at the top of the keyboard. So some people prefer to use the number key tab, and while others prefer to use the numbers at the top of the keyboard. Then we have the arrow keys. Like the mouse, the arrow key are used to navigate through a document or pages. They are used to navigate through a document or pages, either navigate upwards, downwards, sideways, the left or right sideways. So this is what they do. So we have the pointer shape. We have the pointer shape. Now, as with other Microsoft programs, the pointer often changes its shape as you work in Excel. Each pointer shape indicates a different mode of operation. This table shows, the table below shows the various pointer shapes you may see while working in Excel. So this table below shows a different shapes you might see when working with Excel. So it might show you them. And let's look at typing in cells. Typing in cells. Sorry for the few time we have. Typing in cells. Cells are the small rectangular boxes that makes up the spreadsheet. Cells are the small rectangular boxes that makes up a spreadsheet. When you open a blank page in an Excel, you see spreadsheet. So a rectangular box, or the cells are all in the spreadsheet are all in rectangular boxes. So now the rectangular box is a cell. One of them is known as a cell. Now the boxes are the intersection of columns A, B, C, etc., and rows 1, 2, 3, etc. To reference a cell, use the column and the arrow name. For example, the cell in the first column and first row is called A1. All the informations entered into a spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet is entered into cells. They are all entered into cells. Click on a cell to begin typing in it. It is that easy. When you are finished typing in the cell, press enter key and you will be taken to the next cell down. So it's easy to type in Excel. It's easy to type in Excel. Now, note that the formatting toolbar in Microsoft Excel 2007 is exactly the same as the one used for Microsoft Word 2007. So the difference between the difference between the two programs is that in Excel, the format is set for each individual cell. So if you change the font and apply the bold option in cell C5, then this format will only be applicable or apply to cell C5. So that is what I want us to know. That is what I want us to know. Sometimes you may only wish to adjust the format of one particular cell. So in this case, simply select the cell by clicking the mouse on it and make any necessary adjustment to the font size or style you want to do. Now, other times you may wish or you may want to adjust the text format of a group of cells. So of a group of cells or entire rows or columns. So in this you can choose group of cells in Excel. You can choose group of cells, choose group of cells in a rectangular unit. All the cells you selected must form a rectangle of some kind. So they must form a rectangle of some kind for it to work effectively. Once the group of cells has been selected, you can make adjustment to the group or to the font size and alignments, etc. Whatever format you want to do. Whatever format you want to do. Now let's look at formatting cells. I think I still have little time. Now, when formatting cells, all you just need to do is take your mouse. If you want to format the width or the height, you need to adjust the views, all the information entered into the cell. For example, when you type, like I said before, when you type and what you type is longer than is too long, the cells, the spreadsheet covers or the cell covers it and you won't see it. And for you to do it, you have to adjust the width or the height of the spreadsheet of the cell for the words you type to appear. So to do that, take your mouse, put the mouse in between the two in between the two cells, in between two cells, the middle of two cells, then left click the mouse, drag it to the side you want, and you see the things you type will appear the same thing you do to the height when you want to adjust the height. So before um, beginning entering data into your spreadsheet, you must have known the you must have known the width and the height you want your cell to have. So you can just adjust the height by doing the following. Select the square between column A and row 1. This will select all the cells in the spreadsheet from the home tab of the ribbon menu. Within the cells within the cells box, click on format and select row height. You will now be asked to either enter a numeric value of for height. The default value is 15, but you can enter your own height value, 10, 20, 25, etc., depending on what you want. So you repeat the same step for column. If you want to work on these columns, you repeat the same step for column from home tab. You repeat it from home tab. For any given cell or selected cells, you can also format the way your data is represented within the cells. Select a single cell or multiple cells again from the home tab of the ribbon menu within the cells box. Click on the format, select format cells. The format window will open. You see this kind of window you're seeing on the screen. This is the format window, and from there you enter necessary informations that you want. Now now this allows you to choose how to represent the numbers that you are you have entered, or that you have entered into a cell. Number, currency, etc. So it shows you, or is it number, is it currency you want, then you put it there. The alignment, it determines how the data will be aligned within the cell, to left to side, center, or right side, left, right, center, or right side. Then the font, it selects the type of font to be used within the cell, the type of font to be used within the cell. Then we also have the border. This option lets you choose what type of border, if any, you would like around the cells or some of the cells. Then we have the fill. This allows you to change the background color of the cell, and the protection. This option allows you to lock cell information so that other users cannot make changes to your documents. Now, to select an entire cell, click on the arrow number with your mouse. Note how the entire row becomes highlighted. All formatting changes will now be applied to the whole row. So the same thing applies to the column. Also, the same thing applies to the column. To insert a row, click on the row below where you want your new row to be. Then from the home tab within the cell box, click insert. Select insert sheet rows. A new row will automatically be inserted and the column number automatically adjusted. To insert column, click on the column to the right side of where you want your new column to be, and then click on the cell boxes, then insert column. Follow the same step and you achieve what we're saying. Sorting data, you can sort data through Excel. When you have created your spreadsheet and entered in some data, you can organize the data in a certain way, like alphabetically, numerically, or any other way you feel you can do that. So use certain data. So let's quickly, before our time goes off, let's look at the basic formulas in Excel. Now, Excel can calculate basic equations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and divisions. Let's say you just want to add two numbers with the answer appearing in a particular cell. Now, all you just need to do is to write a formula that adds two numbers together. For example, you can see the example I have here, 181, sorry, 181 plus 376, 181 plus 376, you can see it there. Now click on the cell where you want the answer to the equation to appear. They begin by typing equal sign. Begin by typing equal sign. Type the number you want to add separated by the positive sign without space, and it will give you just the same way you are seeing, it will give you your answer. So you can see from my screen your entire equation should look like the one you are seeing on my screen. Now you press the enter key, then you will now see the sum appear in the cell. In this case, the answer you have here is 557. So you see it appear there. You can repeat these steps for subtraction, multiplication, or division. You can repeat it for subtraction, multiplication, or division also, instead of going to use whoa, 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 whoa. So these are what we can boldly talk about Excel. These are what we can talk about Excel. Now in Excel, you can also auto sum. You can also auto sum your data. So when you put your data, then just click the auto sum. It will give you, select it and click the auto sum to add up everything and show you your answer. So you can use it, add, subtract, multiply, divide. You can also find average using this program of auto sum. So in the equation here, if you could see, I have an equation here. Sorry, I have an equation here. Oh, it's not showing. Let me just explain. Okay. Now let me just talk about it. The equal sign indicates that you are starting an equation in this Excel. Then the sum tells the function to be performed. In this case, all the cells will be added together. Then the parenthesis contains the cells that the function will be performed on. Then the D2, this is the first cell to be included in the addition formula. And the um, the other indicates that all cells between the first and the last should be included in the formula. So these are what it means. Then the other mathematical functions you can perform from AutoSum includes average, count numbers, mass numbers. So these are what we can do. Now closing Microsoft Excel. Now before you close a document, you have to first of all save the document. So to save the document, click the office button, then hover your mouse over save as, click Excel worksheet. You can change the file name and Excel has chosen just by typing a new one in the file name, then the button on the file name, then click the button of the window as the window appears. So you could see everything on my screen here. You could see it. So to print a document, you can also print from Excel the same way we did from Microsoft Word. Click on the office button, then click print from the menu, from the window that pops up. You can make changes to your print job and release it. So as with all commands in Excel, so we can do almost everything in Excel. We can also have the grid, make the grid show or not to show. Then to close an Excel, please click on the office button, then click exit, or you can also click on the X in the top right corner of the Excel screen. So it will close the Excel program for you. So this is Excel. I want to thank you all for listening, and see you next week. Bye bye.